Right, welcome back to another episode of Testing the Tips. I've been away for a few weeks and this is back to the grind because I'm doing this video from Get Good at Golf, and a good mate of mine, Chris Dennis, who goes through a process that, to be quite honest with you, I watched the video and realised there's a few bad habits that I'd personally slipped back into, and I really wish we could find a way of having these lessons with us on the first tee and a quick reminder as to how what we need to concentrate on. And like I said, these are very much basics. They're things that I have covered before in the past on Testing the Tips, but like I said, they're things that I had forgotten. And they're really key and they're very, very basic, but I've just hit some balls here at Lofoten Links, which we've got on screen on TrackMan. Just absolutely bombed it. Let's hope I can do the same when the video is turned on and we press record. Right. The title of the video is about tucking the right elbow, for a right-handed golfer that is, tucking the right elbow in, and I'll briefly go through how that concept works. There's a number of different ways we can sort of address the ball. Solid straight arms, and we come a little bit, well, robotic, let's say. We can then sort of got this chicken wing effect that we've seen a lot of golfers will have and adopt, which again, this elbow releasing from the sort of rib cage can cause all kinds of problems in the swing. And Chris goes into great detail on what all the different problems are, but effectively I'm just going to focus on what the solution is. And that solution is tucking this right elbow into your rib cage, but it's how you do that. So forgetting addressing the ball, first of all, I roll my sleeve up. We've done this before and it's quite simple. Instead of having your right forearm facing the target as such, and if from down the line what you should be able to see, or what you shouldn't be able to see rather, is my left forearm. So to make sense of that, my right is covering my left arm from back down there, then that is incorrect. We've got a bit of an issue. Simple way to change that is this. Put your right arm out, turn your forearm rather to the sky. Another way of doing this is imagine lifting or curling a dumbbell. That's the position we're in. All you're going to do from there is you're going to turn your right hand in to grip the club. And you're going to try, your forearm will rotate a little, but effectively we're going to try and keep the right forearm pointing to the sky. And at the same time, that right elbow is just going to tuck into our rib cage a little bit. Now what happens then, again, if we look back down the line, is you should now be able to see my left forearm. So my right forearm drops in and behind, and my left forearm becomes over and above. And again, it eradicates a whole lot of problems with our swing. So that's the first very, very simple but very effective method of ensuring your right forearm is in a good position. It helps with rotation, it helps with keeping the swing on plane, I feel, a lot easier as well. So it simplifies a lot. So with just that alone, so right forearm facing to the sky, turn the hand in. Let's see if we can relax and hit a golf shot. And then it just, what it does, everything releases so much easier. Looks like we've gone a bit too straight with this one. We're into the rocks. What a great hole this is at Lofoten. Couldn't have hit that any better. Perfectly straight. Needed to go a little bit more towards the target. I've just learned. Right, that's the first bit. Second bit is this, and again, very much a basic. And I like what Chris references at this point as well. Ball position, and it's hugely key. Now we all know that ball position, roughly speaking, should be inside of the left heel. Chris talks about the ball position creeping its way back to centre, but it's his reference that why that creeps back to centre. And that's often because we hit a whole lot more iron shots than we do hit drivers. So your last shot on the previous hole was a good 8 iron. The ball was centering your stance. Brilliant. You get your driver out the bag and you adopt that same position. It's quite a logical process when you think about it, an error that would easily be made just based on that fact that, like I said, we'll hit a whole lot more irons than we will driver. But again, can be hugely detrimental to how and where we deliver that club face and the driver in particular in the swing, because as we know, we want to be hitting with an upward blow, and if that ball is moved back in the stance, that will negatively impact in that. In most terms, we'll be hitting a downward blow. it'll have all kinds of negative connotations. So just check your ball position and try and make sure every time we get on the tee that we've got our ball and hands in the correct position. So just inside the heel, and again, a good way of checking this, not that I would necessarily, something I would do on the tee, but if you drop the club, then straight away you'll see it's just in line with, just inside the heel. When you're centre of the sternum and your iron shot, then you'll drop the club and it will very much finish in the centre. So, tee it up inside of the heel, forearm out, hand in. Let's see if we can get a better line and concentrate on that this time round. Well, it's definitely a much better line. It seems to be going incredibly high, but we are edging our way towards the green. We just about covered the drop. It was a really solid strike, really happy with that in terms of one other key factor. Now for this, it's again very self-explanatory, but something that you see quite often, and that is this ability to balance throughout the swing, so staying in tempo and in control of the club head and not the other way around, which is a lot of golfers who tend to very aggressive through the swing and end up either falling over or finishing away to the left-hand side, which can often see the ball out that way as well, depending on what that club face is doing. It's very simple, but like I said, hugely important. So all we've got to make sure that we're doing is finishing in a nice balanced position at the top of the swing. Seems simple enough, I know, but these are real. Early this morning, I was doing a video where we were testing driver, and my additional effort to try and hit the ball longer was having a detrimental effect, and that detrimental effect was also causing my balance to be way off through the swing. So again, all those things together, ball position, forearm facing the sky, keeping the tempo nice and smooth, and then hopefully we can finish with something pretty decent. That might be the best one of the lot. Just leaking out towards the rock, so we're going to carry them, we're going to hit on top of them. How good are the graphics is the first thing I will say about TrackMan, but that was the best ball. It was a 227 carry and spin number, everything really good. Balance, nice balance finish, and I'd be more than happy with that strike. Maybe not on Lofoten links. Anyway, that's it. Dead simple, dead straightforward. Three very basic, very basic and minor details, but things that you need to be aware of. And what I would say is that Chris goes into a little bit more detail of what the issues are and the problems that you can have if you don't get these things right. So make sure you go and check out his video for a more detailed explanation than the one I gave this morning. But as I said, don't forget to take these basics into your own game, and I'm sure, like with mine this morning, it can only have a positive impact. Right, that's me done. As ever, thank you for watching. I will carry on playing a few holes around Lofoten links because I mightn't get there this year, but it's certainly on the bucket list. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all soon.